Welcome. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Sports Pod with Dre. Now, we're just going to get into it. Now I want to talk about the NFL for a brief second. 'Cause there was uh, I guess like some big news allegedly that could possibly, shape the future of, I guess like the New England Patriots. Because according to, who was it? It was one of them damn, I guess, quote unquote, reputable sports websites. But pretty much they were saying that Bill Belichick, Bob Kraft could have made a decision to move on from Bill Belichick after the end of the season. Of course, when they were asked, when the press asked Bill Belichick about his Patriots future, he said, I'm getting ready for Kansas City. So pretty much like you wasn't going to get shit out of him. But the speculation about Bill Belichick's future has swirled in part because of owner Robert Kraft has been clear about his expectations. Entering the fourth season without quarterback Tom Brady's free agency departure, which pained Kraft, the 82-year-old owner, said in March that it's, quote, it's very important that we make the playoffs. These motherfuckers clearly are not going to make the playoffs because they are 2-10. So they were mathematically eliminated from the playoff picture. After they lost, I believe like this Sunday. So the Patriots were officially eliminated from the postseason Sunday when the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Indianapolis Colts. It marked the earliest franchise. It marks the earliest the franchise has actually been knocked out of playoff contention since 2000, Bill Belichick's first year as head coach. So the Patriots have also clinched their third losing season in 4 years. Well, third losing season in 4 years since Brady signed with Tampa Bay as a free agent. Their last playoff win was 13-3 over. No, hold up. Their last playoff win was 13-3 over the Rams in the Super Bowl, which was in February 3rd, 2019. So it's been a rough go with the Patriots, ever since Tom Brady left. So I'm just saying, like, you got to give my man like at least some time to find a decent quarterback. But I mean, he's doing it to himself as well because Belichick has never really drafted a superstar wide receiver. That could have actually helped in Mac Brown's development, and also like just getting this man, like some help on the offensive line, or Mac Jones. I'm sorry. That he showed flashes of being a decent quarterback like his rookie year, but he's regressed every single season. And pretty much like it's because he has no help at, wideout. Tight end, they got him like Hunter Henry, who's like pretty much not himself, ever since he came from the Chargers. They actually, like he has really no offensive help. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not. Well, I know they're probably not going to keep Mac Jones at the end of the season. If they go and get, I guess, Caleb Williams in the draft, or if they go with Drake May from North Carolina, I would probably go with Caleb Williams just because he seems like, he's more NFL ready than Drake May. I think Drake May should. I mean, there's really no. I would say go back to North Carolina for his senior season, but there's really no need for him to go back there because only thing you're risking is like pretty much like injury, and nothing can really go good. And I mean, unless you win the fucking national championship, which I don't expect North Carolina to like win a football national championship. Basketball, yes. Football, no. But all right, so we're gonna switch to another story. Now, there's an ex-Jag employee who allegedly stole $22.2 million from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So his name is Amit Patel, He's a former Jacksonville Jaguars employee, and he's accused of defrauding the franchise. Like I said, $22.2 million. Was a high volume and higher stakes daily fantasy sports player known for racking up big losses, according to the online records of his account and multiple sources familiar to with his play. So federal authorities allege Patel, who is 31, manipulated the Jaguars' virtual credit card program, the VCC, and used the proceeds to fund a luxury lifestyle between 2019 and February 2023 when the Jags terminated him. So during that time, Patel was playing fantasy sports, well, daily fantasy sports under the username Parlay Picker on FanDuel and DraftKings. This dumbass motherfucker. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of his account told ESPN. Now, RotoGrinders, a popular daily fantasy sports and betting site that tracks individual players' results, shows Parlay Picker put nearly $500,000 into fantasy tournaments on the NFL, Major League Baseball, PGA Tour, and UFC since 2017. He often entered dozens of lineups into fantasy tournaments with large prize pools. The online records show. But DFS players familiar with Parlay Picker account believe his biggest losses came from high stakes 3-man contests they say he regularly entered. So he was out here, I guess, like just gambling with the Jaguars' money, and he was losing big. But how the hell did they not tell that he was actually, losing like a whole bunch of money and like just using their money to gamble? Like, it's wild. Mr. Patel did not use the Jaguars VCC to fund his lifestyle, but in a horribly misguided effort to pay back previous gambling losses that utilized the Jaguars VVC program, King said. So Alex King is Patel's attorney. So he said Patel's attorney, Alex King, did not respond to multiple requests for comment. And then he left that comment. He left that statement. So he said that in his the statement last week that his client suffers from gambling addiction that fueled this alleged scheme. You think so? You think so? So yeah, my man's got a gambling addiction, and this shit's probably gonna end his ass. It's probably gonna end him up in prison. It's not that well. I guess I would say it's not that serious, but to a person with gambling addiction or any type of addiction, it is that serious. So pretty much as Parlay Picker's play escalated, a word of his misstep spread in the DFS community. Players made a point of seeking out contests against him, according to multiple daily fantasy sources. One veteran DFS player who communicated with ESPN on the condition of anonymity said that they believe Parlay Picker is the biggest loser ever on FanDuel. Goddamn. It said he was legendarily bad, the person added. DraftKings and FanDuel declined to comment. So Patel is scheduled to appear in federal court Thursday in Jacksonville, where he's expected to plead guilty of charges of wire fraud and illegal monetary transaction. In his statement last week, King said that Patel is, in quotations, deeply remorseful and is in treatment for his gambling addiction. So the last tournament Parlay Picker entered was tracked by RotoGrinders was DraftKings World Golf Championship on July 6th, 5 months after the Jaguars fired him. The buy-in was $29,000. Parlay Picker finished tied 129th out of 150 finalists. Goddamn, that boy terrible. Excuse me. I'm out here like kind of recording this joint with like going through a cold, so I apologize if there's some coughs and stuff. Now, the NFL is actually going to play a game in Brazil in 2024 and expands the international slate in 2025. So the NFL on Wednesday awarded a 2024 regular season game to Brazil and voted to expand the slate of international games from 4 to 8 games beginning in 2025. The game in Brazil will be played at the I guess Paulo at Corinthians Arena, the home of the Brazilian soccer club SC Corinthians. So, yo, uh, pretty much like, um, yeah, whatever teams is gonna play over there in that game, like they're gonna go crazy with the hoes over there, dog. Like I heard, like the groupies and the hoes and all that, like in Brazil, it's next level. So, the niggas they need to strap up like ASAP, strap up and be good. But pretty much like as far as expanding the NFL game, well, the international games, like I really don't want to wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning to like watch a fucking international, series game. Or I just think like, and then on top of that, like you're actually taking like games from both of these home arenas where pretty much like the people who work at the stadium, they could have got an extra check. So that's another reason why I don't like these international games. But because like in London and like Germany and stuff like that, like you gotta sit up here and like wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning if you want to watch these games, especially if it's your favorite team. And sometimes when I play fantasy, I forget all about that shit. And I fucked around and lost a couple of games because I forgot to set my lineup. um, yeah, like this shit is really getting on my fucking nerves. But yeah, we're just gonna switch over to I guess like all right. So if you have seen the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills game this past Sunday. So pretty much like the Bills ended up winning the game 20-17 against the Kansas City Chiefs, who have actually lost 5 games this season. That's like the most losses that they've had, I think, since Mahomes has taken over as quarterback. But in the regular season. But pretty much like, so at the end of the game, Kadarius Toney was egregiously offside. He lined up offsides, offensive, like offsides, and on that play, it actually turned out that Mahomes, he hit Travis Kelce over the middle. Kelce ended up pitching the ball to Kadarius Toney. He scored a touchdown. But as soon as the ball was snapped, you saw the flag. You saw like the little yellow indicator, meaning that the flag was thrown. I didn't know what it was for, so I was like, damn, maybe it's holding, maybe it's pass interference or something like that. No, Toney lined up offsides. So Mahomes has been, and the Chiefs, they've been bitching about this call, like, oh, he should have got a warning and everything like that. From my knowledge, actually, like they said, like Kadarius Toney has been lining up like all sides, like all game, but it wasn't as egregious as before. So like, he kept getting multiple warnings, but when he lined up like a full yard, like off the ball, like in front of the line of scrimmage, pretty much like, the officials were like, nah, like you gonna get this flag. So, but like Mahomes, like he made a statement. He was like, it's a shame, like, the referees like decide the outcome and all this and that. But I'm like, dog, you the same motherfucker that seeked out the referee in the Super Bowl against the Eagles, against my Eagles, at the end of the game when fucking that pass interference was called against James Bradbury on Juju Smith-Schuster. So, like, come on, dog. Like, get the fuck out of here. My thing is, like Pat Mahomes, he always be bitching about like, whenever he feels like his receivers are pass interfered, and like he'll go hard and he'll campaign and he'll be like all up in the referee's face and all this and that, like throw the flag, blah blah blah. And so it's good when it works out in their favor. But when it doesn't work out in his favor and it works against him, then all of a sudden you want to bitch. Like, nigga, shut up. You getting on my fucking nerves. And like I was telling my boy Malik yesterday, I was like, yo, like that's what's getting me. That's what's making it hard for me to like root for this nigga. Because like before, like I was rooting for Pat Mahomes or whatever, but now it's just like you just out here just being a crybaby. Like when shit doesn't go in your way, when it doesn't go, the way that you want it to go, then you start bitching and shit. Like, nigga, shut up. Getting on my fucking nerves, dog. All right. So in the world of the NFL, so we actually completed, I think, what was it, like week 14 last week? Yeah. So there's about like 4 more weeks in the season. And so these are, so we're 14 weeks in. Tomorrow starts week 15. And these are the standings for the in the NFL right now. So over in the AFC East, the Dolphins are 9-4. They actually came off of a loss this past Monday night against the Titans. The Titans actually came back and beat them. Buffalo Bills are 7-6. The New York Giants are 5-8. The New England Patriots are actually 3-10. I said they were 2-10 earlier, but they are 3-10. In the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens are in first place with at a 10-3 record. The Cleveland Browns are 8-5. Both the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals are 7-6. Then the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars are in first at 8-5. The Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans are 7-6. The Houston Texans are actually surprisingly 7-6, but they lost Tank Dell. I think it was like last week. So their shot at making the playoffs might have taken a massive hit. And CJ Stroud, like he's actually been playing his ass off this year. He had a bad game against the Jets, but pretty much like he's been he looks like he could be like the offensive rookie of the year over in the AFC. And the Tennessee Titans are 5-8. So in the AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs are 8-5. Denver Broncos are actually 7-6. Right behind them. The LA Chargers and the I almost said Los Angeles. The Las Vegas Raiders are both 5-8. Over on the AFC side, the Dallas Cowboys, and all right, so they're in first place by proxy. That they just beat us. They beat my Eagles this past Saturday, 33-13. So Cowboys are in first place. The Eagles are in second place, but they're both 10-3. The New York Giants are 5-8. The Washington Commanders are 4-9. In the NFC North, the Detroit Lions are 9-4. The Minnesota Vikings are 7-6. The Green Bay Packers are 6-7, and the Chicago Bears are 5-8. NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are actually in first, but the Atlanta Falcons have the same record as them at 6-7, so they're first and second. Actually, you know what? There's a 3-way tie. The New Orleans Saints are actually 6-7 as well. So, but the team that sucks in that division is the Carolina Panthers. They are 1-12. So they pretty much like all been guaranteed like they will actually have the first pick. No, you know what? The Bears actually had the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft because the Carolina Panthers traded their pick when they got rid of when they sent DJ Moore to Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. The Chicago Bears they fleeced the Carolina Panthers. So the NFC West, the San Francisco 49ers are 10-3. The Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks are 6-7, and the Arizona Cardinals are 3-10. So so that's pretty much it with the football news. Now in baseball, Shoei Otani, that motherfucker signed a 10-year, $700 million contract, but he deferred $680 million of that contract. So throughout the life of his career, I mean, throughout the life of the contract, when he's playing, he'll make $2 million a year, so he'll make $20 million, while he's playing, and then pretty much get paid the 680 million. I'm assuming like after he gets paid. So I mean, after he retires, or after he stops playing, or the life of the contract. So yeah, that he's learned from Bobby Bonilla, and everybody used to be like, "Yo, happy Bobby Bonilla Day." I think it was like in July. It's either June or July. Like Bobby Bonilla would get his yearly couple $1 million salary, and like everything was cool. It just became like a running joke. But it seems like a whole bunch of players, like, they learned from that, and like now when they sign these big ass massive contracts to help the franchise, go out and help sign other players that will help make the team better, they defer their money until like the backside, and get that money when they're done playing. So I can't knock that. I can't knock that, and I salute to that man. Hats off. Hats off to that man. Shohei Otani, back the Brinks truck up. That man got pissed. And in the NBA, let's see what's going on with that. Now the NBA, like, they just recently wrapped up the end season tournament, which I couldn't tell like which games actually like counted towards the end season tournament, but you could tell like if you was watching the game, because the end season tournament games, like, they had different colored courts, which I think those courts were actually pretty dope, but you just couldn't tell like which game in the regular season counted towards the end season tournament game. And like that shit made absolutely no sense to me. And I still think that it makes absolutely no sense to have an in-season tournament, but I guess they're trying to appeal to their European counterparts, like overseas, because I know in like soccer they have like an in-season tournament game, and like a lot of soccer leagues overseas. So, and there's more European players that play in the NBA now, and I believe that they have an in-season tournament in like European leagues too. But yeah, so this year was the first ever European league. I mean, that's a European in-season tournament. So pretty much like the Lakers beat the Pacers in the championship game, and LeBron James was the first in the inaugural in-season tournament MVP. But how it went, excuse me, in the quarterfinals in the East, the Bucks beat the Knicks 146 to 122. The Pacers beat the Celtics 122 to 112. Then the Pacers beat the Bucks 128 to 119. So that got them to the championship game. Over on the West, the Lakers won. They beat the Suns 106 to 103. The Pelicans actually beat the Kings 127 to 117. The Lakers beat the Pelicans 133 to 89, where a lot of people was making, a big deal about Zion Williamson's like his pretty much like his conditioning and his shape, because he is a bit chubby out there, but he got outplayed in that game bad by LeBron, who was like about to be 39. Yeah, Zion's in like his early 20s, and yeah, like LeBron outscored him like 30 to 13. So there was a lot of controversy about that. Well, people always tease Zion about his weight anyway, but I'm just like, bro, it's like you get paid to play basketball for a living. You would think that you would be in better shape. Like, you're getting paid millions of dollars to actually play a child's game, and like you're a professional athlete. Like, your job is to hoop. Why are you not in shape? Like, and they said like, the Pelicans have had like a whole bunch of, nutritionists and stuff like that. Like, and then he's just not getting it. So I don't know. Maybe he got to eat his way out the league for him to fucking learn finally. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Zion, I hope he actually gets his act together, because he's a talented guy, talented brother, talented hooper. But it's like, my nigga, you gotta lose some weight, my nigga. Because like, I seen him dribbling the ball like up the court, and like my man's titties was jingling. I'm like, yo, that's wild, sir. That's really wild. But yeah. get that shit together, my guy. Easiest way to shut the critics up is to put in the work. Put in the work and like just make everybody shut their mouth. That's it. But as far as the early season goes with the NBA standings, so in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics are in the #1 seed so far in the East. They're 17-5. The second and third seeds are the Orlando Magic, who are actually having a pretty damn good year. I didn't expect them to have, this good of a year starting off. They're both 16-7. My Sixers are actually in fourth with the record of 15-7. The Pacers are 13-8. The Knicks are 13-9. The Miami Heat are 13-10. The Brooklyn Nets are 12-10. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 13-11, and the Atlanta Hawks are 9-13. So those are like the 1 through 10 seeds, and then the rest of the teams that suck in the East are the Toronto Raptors. They're 9-14. The Chicago Bulls are 9-16. The Charlotte Hornets are 7-14. They just can't get right over in Charlotte. The Washington Wizards are 3-19. They're fucking horrible. And the Detroit Pistons are 2-21. But what's funny is they actually started the season 2-1. And they've lost 20 straight games, yo. 20 straight fucking games. The Detroit Pistons are poverty right now. Like, they are poverty. They're actually the worst team in the NBA. But all right, so over in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves are actually in the #1 spot right now. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in the second seed at 15-7. The Dallas Mavericks are 15-8. The Denver Nuggets are actually 16-9. Sacramento Kings are 13-9. The Lakers are 14-10. The LA Clippers are 13-10. In the 8th seed, the Phoenix Suns are actually 13-10. 9th seed, Houston Rockets are 11-9. Actually, Ime Udoka, he actually got them playing better ball because, like, for the past 2 years, the Houston Rockets were straight garbage. So they're showing signs of improvement. The New Orleans Pelicans are 13-11. The Golden State Warriors are 13-10. At the 11th spot, the Utah Jazz are 7-16. The Memphis Grizzlies are 6-16. The Portland Trailblazers are 6-16. And with the second worst, actually tied for second worst record in the league so far is the San Antonio Spurs at 3-19. I believe they lost like 19 in a row. So yeah, they Wemby's doing his thing, but the rest of the team fucking sucks. So yeah, so thank you for sitting through the first inaugural episode of the Sports Pod with Dre, and I hope you liked it, and I will be back hopefully like drop at least like once a week, or hopefully multiple times a week. That's the game plan. So yeah, thank you for stopping by, listening and showing some love, and I will highlight y'all later. All right, everybody be safe. Peace.